Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Christine with Powdercrafts, and today I'm here to share with you the cards I made using the Flavor of the Month card kit by Scrapping for Less. This month is the month of April. The theme is the colors of spring. If you'd like to see what I received in my monthly kit, I will leave a link in the description below to the unboxing video. Here I have the Flavor of the Month card sketches. Each month, Scrapping for Less has a download sheet that you can go on and download and print off, and they have different card sketch ideas. I do try in my 16 cards to make at least one card, using each one of the sketches. So anyway, let's take a look and see what I made here. This is card number 1 from collection number 1. This is my interpretation of sketch number 2. So I loved the boots, the rain boots in this collection. So I did go ahead and stamp and cut that out, color those, and then I added some glossy accents to make it look like rain boots. Now, something I did a little bit different in this video was I did bring in a couple of elements from my stash that were not in the kit. I'd like to know what you guys think. If you want me to make the cards using only what's in the kit, go ahead and let me know. If you're okay with bringing in a few things, and not really a lot of things, like most, like it would be like glossy accents or Wink of Stella, or maybe a stencil, because I did use a stencil in one of these kits. Just kind of allows me to sort of stretch the kit a little further, but let me know your opinion. So anyway, this is the first card. Collection 1 used some glossy accents right there. And on the inside of this card, I just added some little rain boots here. Nothing too fancy on the inside of that card. Okay, card number 2, this is my interpretation of sketch number 3. Did use 3 different pattern papers in this card. The solid green one was one of the sheets of pattern paper I received. And I stamped out the frog image from the stamp set, colored him up. I did use some Wink of Stella on the umbrella and glossy accents on the little puddle and the little splashes here. I did wait till I was done making all the cards before I picked out my banner pieces, because I didn't want to cut into new paper because I knew I'd have some scraps left over. On the inside of this card, I have the image again and the sentiment from that stamp set. To enjoy the rainbow, we must endure the rain. And I colored in the rainbow in the rain with some alcohol markers. So that's card number 2. Card number 3, super simple. I had a piece of pattern paper that had all these little strips on it. So I did cut down some strips, used some scraps from some of the pattern paper from the previous card. And I had to cut the strips down because the paper wouldn't fit this way when I cut it. So I had to cut each one of the little strips to put them on. Really not a big deal. Love, love, love these boots, and I thought this little truck here with the flowers was really cool. And on the inside of this card, I just put some boots in the center there. So it's card number 3 from collection 1. Last card from this collection is this card here. I loved, loved, loved this pattern paper. So I really did not want to cover it in any way. So this is just a very simple note card. On the inside, I did absolutely nothing. But you can see that I just loved that pattern paper. Super simple note card. just showcasing the pattern paper. So that is everything from collection 1. All right, let's move on to collection 2. We had this adorable bunny stamp from Sunny Studios, and it had these little tulips. We also had some wood icons. I had 2 butterflies, 2 flowers, and 1 leaf. So I did color the butterflies with Spectrum Noir markers. I did add some Wink of Stella to those. I'm not sure if that's showing up on camera. I also added Wink of Stella to the little tulips here and our little bunny. So on this background paper, that's just some white cardstock from my stash. I took a cloudy stencil and made all these little clouds with some Distress ink. I thought it was a way to kind of stretch the paper, and since all the paper was plaid, to kind of make my own background here with some white paper allowed me to stretch this paper a little bit further. On the inside of this card, I just stamped a bunny. Card number 2. I did use all 3 colors of the plaid paper I received. Here's the sentiment from that stamp set, Spring Greetings, and the heart from that stamp set. Added a couple little sequins here. And on the inside, I just added 2 of the bunny images with a tulip image. So that's card number 2. Card number 3, this one here. This is, I used sketch number 1 for this card here. So again, brought in all 3 colors of the plaid paper I received. Put 2 little bunnies here and made like a little tulip garden over here. I don't know if you can see, but on this paper here, this was just some white cardstock. I stamped the hearts from the stamp set and some with tumbled glass Distress ink. I also put some Distress ink all around the edge so that it would kind of blend into the pattern paper a little bit. On the inside, I did carry over a piece of that scrap pattern paper, and I did stamp the bunny. I don't know if you can see that, with the blue ink. Anyone who uses Distress ink probably knows it's not the best ink to stamp with. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't stamp that bunny there. Or if I did, I'd use like gray. Like I have some Memento, I think it's called London Fog. It's like a gray ink. Or I would just use some Memento Tuxedo Black. But anyway, this is card number 3. Card number 4 is a shaker card. Loved, loved, loved it. This was inspired by sketch number 2. The 2 little bunnies. Now this is where I took some white cardstock. Again, made some more clouds. Added some blue plaid paper in the background here. And the green plaid paper is the main mat. Stamped out the sentiment with more of those hearts. Did pull some green cardstock from my stash to make all this little grass. I got like 4 grassy border die cutouts here. And added the little bunnies. And I talked about bringing in other things from the stamp set. Like this is sort of stuff that I'm talking about. So really fun shaker card. Now I love the way I decorated the inside of this card. So I took a white piece of cardstock, made these clouds with that tumbled glass Distress ink again, and then this is a strip of this green plaid paper that was left over, and so I used the grassy border die and put that down here. This is probably one of my favorite cards from this whole kit. Collection number 3, no surprise, it was my favorite. This little daffodil, what is she, 10 Tiny Towny Garden Girl, I think. I'd have to go pull up the stamp set. She is adorable. So I stamped and cut her out, colored her all up. I colored her in 6 different colors before I made the cards. Because for me, half the battle of making cards is having images that are all ready to go. I don't know why I prefer to color my images and make cards kind of separately, unless they're super simple images. Like this might be super simple for some people, but I'm still learning to color with Copics and Spectrum Noir, so it takes me a little bit longer to color. But I love the way they all turned out. So I did add some Wink of Stella to all of their dresses and headbands. And this one here, I don't know if you can see this, but I was able to cut these 3 colors of cardstock so that when I put them together, the pattern continued. I don't know if you can see that. See, like, and anyway, I was super proud of the fact that I was able to do that, because the pattern paper from this collection, it was all the same pattern, just different colors, and I thought this would be just a fun way to use the colors, but that the images would all go together. So I thought that was really fun. The inside of this card, I just added a strip of the red cardstock here to the bottom. Card number 2, I used the dotted foil. This is my interpretation of sketch number 4. So I used some of the pattern paper that I thought matched this polka dot foil paper. This is the twine that came in the collection. And again, we have our little daffodil girl. She's colored in yellow. Again, she's got Wink of Stella on her headband and her dress. And the inside of this card, I just stamped the image of the girl again. Card number 3 is a shaker card. So for this shaker piece, I cut the shaker here and used the same piece I cut out as the bottom piece. Added this sassy little daffodil here and used those fun sequins for the shaker bits. And on the inside of this card, I took a piece of that scrap paper that was from here and just cut it in this fun little pattern and put it on the inside. And the last card from this collection is super, super simple. I loved this foil, or this dotted foil paper. Now, the cardstock, or the pattern paper that I received, the colors didn't seem to match this as well as I would have liked. So I just decided to just showcase this piece of cardstock here all on its own with our pretty and pink daffodil here. Again, put some Wink of Stella on her dress. And on the inside, just stamped her again with some gray ink. I may or may not eventually, like, maybe put a sentiment in here when I decide what I'm going to do with this card. But she'll probably just go into my Etsy shop just like this. Okay, collection number 4. Now, collection number 4 came with this very large stamp, which I think is adorable. So what I did is I stamped this image out 4 times, and then I used different dies to cut out the shapes. So you'll see the same image, just different parts of the image. So with this card here, I loved this pink pattern paper, and because this piece was going to cover most of it, I did cut out underneath and put it up on some foam because I didn't want to waste it. I mean, if it's going to be covered and you can cut it out and use it in a, you know, in a way that isn't really noticeable, go for it. That is what I'm trying to do more of. So I did use some of the flower sequins. I'm a little concerned about how those flower sequins will go in the mail. I mean, they're pretty sturdy on here after I glued them down just with some Tombow Mono. But I'm not sure how well they'll go in the mail, so we'll see. And on the inside is just a white mat. I did not have a lot left over from this collection after making these cards, so I did not do too much on the inside. Card number 2 is this one here. There's that pink mat from that other card that I used, propped this up. Again, this is that same image. I just used a smaller rectangle die to cut it out. Added some more of those flower sequins and completely blank on the inside. Card number 3. This is again my interpretation of sketch number 3. Stamped at that image and used a circle die to cut it out. Used 3 different pattern papers, and on the inside it is completely blank. And the last card is this one here. Again, decided to cut that image out with a smaller rectangle die, focusing mostly just on the little mouse and the flower. This is my interpretation of sketch number 2. And I just added this little yellow strip in the back that I had as a scrap in 2 of the little flower sequins. I loved this rainbow paper. And then on the inside I did decorate with extra this little bit with on a white mat. So now let me show you real quick what I have left. So this is collection 1. I have obviously the stamp set. I have all the doilies, all 3 of the mini clips, lots of sequins, a full 6x6 sheet, some really decent size scraps, and just some little strips as well. All right, collection number 2, I have 2 6x6 sheets of paper, the stamp set, all of those word stickers from Pebbles. Few scraps. I have 2 of the flower wood icons and that leaf, and the sequin mix. I have a lot of those left as well. Now with these flower wood icons and that leaf, I found they were really hard to work together, especially that leaf. So it'll be interesting when I visit these kits how I use those. All right, collection number 3, I have a full 6x6 sheet of paper left, lots of good sized scraps and some little scraps. I do have the stamp. I have one of the little girls that I had stamped, cut, and colored left. I have sequins left. Collection number 4, I cleaned up my desk and I'm not sure where the stamp is. It's in here somewhere. I probably already put it away, but I couldn't find it when I decided it was really time to get this video made. So as you can see, I really don't have a lot of paper left. Very, very little. I have a lot of the sequins, I have the washi, and of course I do have the stamp set somewhere. And I have all the elements from the Banana Split level. We will open this when we do our card kit remix video. So anyway, this is it. This is what I made for April. Scrapping for Less card kit. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspired you a little bit. Let me know what you think about bringing in a few other goodies from my stash. You know, are you good with that, or do you want me to stick strictly with what comes in the kits? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you liked what you saw and you would like to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But until next time, bye.